guys, I'm live again. I'm back. Now guys, by the way, disclaimer guys, disclaimer by the way. I think right now I don't have much time because due to some concerns and due to my personal problems I have to go somewhere else. So I think this live stream is about like something like half an hour or probably hour, but so don't waste time, just focus on topic. So in the last streams, in the last stream where we left, we are at we were at like part 3 IELTS, and we were solving some question. We were solving some part 3 questions. Yeah, now let's solve it again and again and again. Let me give you some key QR code to so that you can practice with me guys. Let me check this. Where is scan this QR code guys. Take a screenshot or scan this and let's jump to the test number 2 section number 3 senior. Yeah, test number 2 section number 3. Okay, let's practice with me guys. Don't worry, I will give you whole material for this. Test number 2 section number 3. Let's go guys. By the way, I don't feel motivated, still I have to do it. There is no other option.
Recording 45. You will hear two
Please
students
ignore
talking
music.
about their university studies. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
21 to 26.
Oh, hi, George. How's it going?
Hi, Martina. It's going well. How about you? How's university life?
Well, it's great. Apart from the studying, of course.
Yeah, me too.
Apart
What are
from
you
studying.
studying? I seem to remember that you were going to do art. That was your best subject, wasn't it?
No, not really. I just liked the teacher. He was French and had an amazing accent. My favourite subject was history, but I couldn't see what career that would give me.
Oh, right. So, what did you choose?
Well, I found it really difficult to decide. I was really good at science, but I must admit, I never really enjoyed studying it. So, in the end, I decided to opt for English, which was my second favourite subject, and I thought it would be more useful to me than studying anything else. So, that's what I'm doing. How are you finding university?
Well, it's a bit of a challenge, I suppose.
Are you finding it difficult?
Well, some of it. I'm doing mechanical engineering, which is really interesting, but it covers quite a lot of areas, like materials science, machine design, physics, and of course mechanics, and they're all fine. But It's maths that I'm struggling with. It's a lot harder than it was at school.
I can believe it. It all sounds very difficult to me. But then I never was very good at mechanical things. I suppose it must involve some practical work.
Well, not at the moment. Currently, it's nearly all theory, so it's a bit heavy going.
I guess you need to start with that so that you can get a grasp of the concepts and learn a few facts before you start putting it into practice. It must be a lot different to the course that I'm taking.
Yes, but in a few weeks we'll be having a lot more practical experience. In fact, I've got a great assignment this term, working on jet engines, which means I'll be going on a few field trips to a nearby airport.
Oh, that's great. It sounds like you're going to be very busy.
Yes, I'm not sure how I'm going to cope with the work. We have a lot of lectures, and that's fine. The lecturers are very knowledgeable, and I learn a lot from them. But we also have a lot of seminars, and I find with so many people expressing their views, it can get quite frustrating. It would be better if we didn't have so many of those.
Yes, it's the same for me.
Theoretical.
Now listen and answer questions 27 to 30.
How are the students at your place?
Well, I haven't really met anyone yet. They all seem a bit quiet.
Perhaps they're working hard. They don't appear to be very studious here, but they are very friendly. I must say, I've been doing a lot of sitting around and chatting over the last week or so.
Well, that's good. The only person I've spoken to, really, is my tutor. He's very approachable and seems to understand how difficult it can be starting university.
It's good to have someone you can talk to, and he may help you meet other students.
Actually, that doesn't bother me. I'm bound to get to know some people sooner or later. It's more a question of finding out what I need to do, where to go, and so on. I hope he can help me with that.
Oh, I would have thought so. Well, we certainly have a lot of work ahead of us. It seems like a long time, doesn't it? Studying for 3 years.
Yes, it does, but I'm sure it'll go quickly. You know, I'm really dreading the first assessment.
Yes. For the course I'm doing, we have to hand our first one in at the end of next month.
Really? So, have you got the topic yet?
No, but we'll get it soon. I'm not sure how much we have to write yet. Not too much, I hope.
I know what you mean. And it's hard to study, especially where I am now.
Oh, where are you living?
I'm living in a hall of residence. I thought that would be a good idea, as there'd be a lot of people around, but I'm finding it a bit noisy. I can see that I'm going to have problems when I really need to get down to some work.
So, I guess you need to be somewhere on your own then?
Yes. Well, I do like to have some people around me, so I'd prefer to live with a family somewhere, in a house not too far from the university.
Well, good luck with that.
Yes,
Done.
thanks. And good luck to you as well.
I don't know spelling of
I'll
engine.
have to dash now. I've another lecture in 10 minutes. Bye for now.
Bye!
Seminars, jet engine.
That is the end of section 3.
Study
You
of
have
jet
half a minute
engines.
to check your answers.
Like study of jet engines or only engine? Engines. No, only jet engine. Now I'm going to check the answers. I think I have feeling that jet engines. Make a decision. Engines with apostrophe means S or not? S, yes. check the answer key. Test number 2, section number 3. DB, right? Maths, right? Theory, right? Jet engines, right? How do I know that engines? Because it involves. Knew it. Seminars, right? Engines, right? A, B, C, C, 10 out of 10. Mentality, bro, 10 out of 10. Nobody can touch me now. Nobody. My friend, after getting मैं थोड़ा कुछ डायरेक्ट बोलने वाला था. हाँ, Georgia would like to live. Easy one ना. I think this is very easy. Let's focus on theoretical. Theo. I think I should write theoretical spelling. And yeah, no. I do focus. Where is my spelling mistake? Here it is. Alright. Theory. O. Theoretical. But actual spelling. Theo. Re. Tical. Then few have confusion that also use. Where is my first of yes? Just now we move to the next test. What the hell? Yeah, next test number 3. By the way, those of you new here, I already gave you a code, so go back to your stream around maybe like 10 or 10 minutes ago and scan the QR code and practice with me. So currently I am doing test number 3 of listening module, test number 3, section number 3 only.
249. You will hear two students discussing an assignment. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Melanie. What did you think of the assignment that we got today? It looks interesting, doesn't it?
Yes, Ellen. I've always been interested in recycling, but there's a lot of research to do.
Yes, there are a lot of things I'm unsure of, so it's going to be good working with you.
Okay. Well, why don't we start by making a flowchart from the notes our tutor gave us?
Yes. So, on one side we could have the paper production cycle, here on the left, and on the other side, the recycling.
Good idea. Let's start at the top with the production. The first step in the process is to get the raw materials.
Yes, and they tend to come from pine forests.
Okay. And then the bark is removed from the outside of the tree, and after that, the wood is chopped up. That's the first 3 stages.
It sounds a bit complicated after that. It says water is added, and then the mixture is heated and made into pulp. This will be the thick paste that is used to make paper.
Yes, you're right, because after that, they use a machine to make the paper, and we can put that right in the center of the flowchart, because it's also where the recycled paper joins the process.
Yes. So, once the paper has been produced in the machine, what happens then?
Well, I think we should write print as the next step, because this is when newspapers, magazines, etc. are produced. And we could also add that they have to be distributed to stores and people's homes.
Right. Then the recycling bit starts. The old paper's collected, and then it says it's taken somewhere so that someone or something can sort it. I imagine there are different kinds of paper, or things like paper clips that need to be removed.
Yes. Let's have a step after that. Now, how did our tutors say they do this? Oh yes, it involves chemicals. So, how is your chemistry?
Well, not very good, I'm afraid. But this is how they remove ink, so this is definitely going to need a bit of research.
Right. The last step in the recycling section is similar to the last step in the production
Ink. What is
process,
spelling of ink?
with heating
Don't know.
and pulping, before the cycle begins again.
Ink. I don't know spelling. Still. Now 26 to 30.
Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
So, I think going through the process has helped. Now, we need to decide how we're going to do this assignment.
Yes. I guess what we need to do is take the processes and divide them up between us. But we could start thinking about an introduction.
Yes, okay. Well, I can start doing that. I think I have enough to go on already.
Good. And there are a few areas where we need a lot more information. I think I'll start with something easy. Let's say the
better idea would be to approach someone who's involved in the process. What about contacting the council?
Oh, good idea. Yes, I'll do that instead. They're bound to have some information. And I know just the thing to add to our work to make it even more interesting.
And what's that?
Well, in my last assignment, I added a few pictures, and the feedback I got was that this wasn't academic enough. So what might really bring it to life would be to include some data, provided we can find some.
Yes, that sounds excellent. Well, we certainly have a lot to do, and not much time to do it in.
You're right. I think we have about 5 weeks, so I suggest we create a plan of work today. The end of the month is nearly 3 weeks away, and then we have a few days holiday.
Yes, so let's see if we can get the first draft done by then, so we can take a short break.
Okay. Then after the break, we'll have just over a week to complete it. I wonder if we could get someone to review our work for us a few days before the deadline, so we can make some final changes. What about your friend, Henry?
Well, the best person would be our tutor. Henry's very good, but he's taking a whole week's holiday, and there won't be enough time when he returns.
Okay then, that's fine.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now let's check our answers, guys. Test number 3, section number Fine Forest. Yeah, right. Alright, man, sorry. Pine forest, water, print, paper clips, sort, collection. Alright, sort, bro. I don't remove ink spelling, right? Ink spelling was right. Introduction, research center, counseling, yeah. Alright, answer is counseling. Data, wrong. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 7 out of 10. Very low score, bro. Actually, when did it go wrong? The answers will be what? Sort newspaper. Sort newspapers. Yeah, recycling. Collect newspaper, then we sort. Fuck, man. What do we they agree to complete by the end of the question? End of the month. I think first draft. Now let's go to test number 4, 5, 4. Test number 4, I don't think it's much interesting, but still have to do it. There's different type of questions. Let's do this. Test number 4. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30. Test number 4, section number 3.
Recording 53. You will hear two students discussing a presentation they are going to give. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
what point does robot makes about 213 study in Britain? The speaker agreed that food waste reports should emphasize the connection between television programs now tends to focus on. For Anna, the most significant point about food waste is Anna and Robert decide to begin the representation.
Hi, Robert.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. I was just printing off some pages about food waste in Britain.
Do you want to include Britain in the presentation? I thought we were concentrating on the USA.
Well, it is a global problem, so I thought we ought to provide some statistics that show that.
Fair enough. What did you find out?
Well, I was looking at a British study from 2013. It basically concluded that 12 billion pounds worth of food and drink was thrown away each year, all of it ending up in landfill sites. Over 8 million tons. And that wasn't including packaging.
An incredible amount.
Yes, and they were only looking at what households threw away, so there's no information about restaurants and the catering industry. But one thing the study did investigate was the amount of milk and soft drinks that were wasted. And I think it was probably quite unique in that respect.
Interesting. You know, in the other European reports I've read, there's one thing they have in common when they talk about carbon dioxide emissions.
I know what you are going to say. They never refer to the fuel that farms and factories require to produce the food and the carbon dioxide that releases.
Exactly. We could really cut down on carbon emissions if less food was supplied in the first place. To my mind, the reports talk too much about the carbon dioxide produced by the trucks that deliver the fresh goods to the shops and take the waste away. They forget about one of the key causes of carbon dioxide.
Absolutely. If the reports are actually going to be useful to people, they need to be more comprehensive.
Who do you mean by people?
Well, the government, industries, people making television programs. Have you seen any documentaries about food waste?
Not that I remember.
My point exactly. These days, they all seem to be focusing on where your meat, fruit, and vegetables are sourced from. We're being encouraged to buy locally, not from overseas. That's probably a good thing, but I'd still like to see something about waste.
Yes, it's the same with magazine articles. It's all about fat and sugar content, and the kind of additives and coloring in food. But nothing about how it reaches your table and what happens after it ends up in the bin.
Well, we've only got 15 minutes for this presentation, so I think we'll have to limit what we say about the consequences of food waste. What do we want to concentrate on?
Well, I know some of the other presentations are looking at food and farming methods and what they do to the environment. So I think we'll avoid that. And the fact that in some countries, people can't afford the food grown on their own farms. That was covered last term.
Okay, we don't want to repeat stuff.
What concerns me above all else is that in a recession, governments should be encouraging business to find ways to cut costs. Apparently, supermarkets in the USA lose about 11% of their fruit to waste. That's throwing money away.
All right, we'll focus on that problem. It should get the others' attention anyway. Now, how do you want to begin the presentation? Let's not start with statistics, though, because that's what everybody does.
I agree. How about we give the other students a set of questions to answer about what they suspect they waste every day?
I'm fine with that. Probably probably a better option than showing pictures of landfill sites. It'll be more personalized that way.
All right. Now let's start.
What advantage does speaker identify for each of the following? Advantages: it suits your time. Edible patch. It will create new job. It will benefit local communities, make money, encourage personal responsibility. It will easy to advertise, involves very little cost. Little cost, make money, encourage personal responsibilities, easy to advertise, save time, new job,
Now
local
listen
community.
and answer questions 26 to 30. Okay, shall we now have a look at the projects that different researchers and organizations are working on?
For me, the project I really liked was the one at Tufts University. You know, where they've invented tiny edible patches to stick on fresh foods that show you what level of bacteria is present, and so whether you can still eat it.
It's a great idea, as it tells you if you need to hurry up and eat the food before it goes off. The other good thing about the patches is that apparently they'll be cheap to manufacture.
Good. Then the other thing I thought was great was the Massachusetts Institute of Technology project.
I hadn't seen that.
Well, they've developed these sensors that can detect tiny amounts of ethylene. Ethylene is the natural plant hormone in fruit that makes them turn ripe, apparently. The researchers think that they can attach the sensors to cardboard boxes, and then supermarkets can scan the sensors with a portable device to see how ripe the fruit inside is. That's got to be a quicker way to check for ripeness than taking each box off the shelf and opening it.
Definitely. And I thought that Lean Path was worth mentioning too. Their waste tracking technology means that caterers can see how much food is being wasted and why. That'll increase profits for them eventually.
Yes. And did you read about 0%? They've produced this smartphone application that allows restaurants to send donation alerts to food charities. The charities can then pick up the unwanted food and distribute it to people in need.
In the long run, that'll definitely benefit poorer families in the neighborhood. No kid should go to school hungry.
I agree. And I read that quite a few local governments in the USA are thinking about introducing compulsory composting in their states. So you can't put any food waste into your rubbish bins, just the compost bin.
Well, I guess that means a bit more work for people. I mean, they have to separate the organic and inorganic waste themselves before they take it out to the compost bin. And you know how lazy some people are. But I guess if we all start composting, then we'll be doing something positive about the problem of food waste ourselves, rather than relying on the government to sort it out. Having said that, not everyone has a garden. That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute.
I have feeling that 6 out of 10. Test number 4. C wrong, B C wrong, 25G right, A D C A, 8 out of 10. 22, 25, 25. Why? How can I get? 25 must be C, na? Oh, 25. I think I heard wrong. This is my weakness. was my mistake. I think I have to go, but let me check something. As I told you that I have to go, so that's why. I am about to end this stream. Yeah, I think I'm about to end this stream. I got 8 out of 10 still. I made a mistake on this thing and I roboticized the partition. Case number 4. Let me realize. I think that's
Recording
what
53.
went wrong.
I know some of the other presentations are looking at food and farming methods and what they do to the environment. So I think we'll avoid that. And the fact that in some countries, people can't afford the food grown on their own farms. That was covered last term.
Okay, we don't want to repeat stuff.
What concerns me above all else is that in a recession, governments should be encouraging business to find ways to cut costs. Apparently, supermarkets in the USA lose about 11% of their fruit to waste. That's throwing money away.
All right, we'll focus on that problem. It should get the others' attention anyway. Now, how do you want to begin the presentation? Let's not start with statistics, though, because that's what everybody does.
I agree. How about we give the other students a set of questions to answer about what they suspect they waste every day?
I'm fine with that. Probably a better option than showing pictures of landfill sites. It'll be more personalized that way.
All right. Now let's start. % of their fruit to waste. That's throwing money away.
All right, we'll focus on that problem. It should get the others' attention anyway. Now, how do you want to begin the presentation? Let's not start with statistics, though, because that's what everybody does.
I agree. How about we give the other students a set of questions to answer about what they suspect they waste every day?
I'm fine with that. Probably a better option than showing pictures of landfill sites. It'll be more personalized that way.
All right. Now let's start.
He's saying that probably A, bro. Answer should be A. I'm fine with that, but probably he said I'm fine with that. Then he said probably we should showing pictures of landscape, something like that. Landscape. I think I have to go 8 out of 10. I don't like it. Now I think I have to go because 8 out of 10, man, this is not acceptable. I should done more. After that, part 4. Listen carefully. Bye bye. Okay. Bye bye. I should listen carefully. More carefully. Bye. Now I about to end this stream.